Hi, my name's Richard Foster. I can't do it. I can't pull that off. I'm not Thor. I may look a bit like Chris Hemsworth. I do. Hi, I'm Rick from Strom, and this is Glycomax. Glycomax, commonly referred to as the OG of glucose disposal aids, generally recognised as the industry standard. It has actually been revised at one point in its history. We used to use 2 grams of cinnamon extract, just regular cinnamon extract, and that was great. It's a good ingredient with good data behind it, but it did cause an issue with clumping, which is why we're redoing this video, because we've updated it. We've updated it to contain 500 milligrams of sinulin PF. So sinulin, a little bit like hydrocurc, is a water-soluble version of cinnamon bark extract. In studies, it's shown to be equally as effective as berberine HCl at controlling blood glucose in type 2 diabetics at a dose of 250 milligrams. So the dose in Glycomax is 500 milligrams per 5 capsules. You also get 500 milligrams of bitter melon extract. You get 1,000 milligrams of berberine HCl. Berberine HCl has been compared to metformin in its efficaciousness without some of the downsides of metformin, i.e. stomach upset and a downregulation of IGF-1. 300 milligrams of ALA, alpha lipoic acid, and 250 mcg of chromium piclinate. So it's a simple 5-ingredient panel, but every ingredient there is at or above the normal clinical dosage. You get 300 capsules in a container with a serving size of 5 capsules per day for a normal user. Now the goal isn't to jump straight in at 5 capsules, it's definitely not to take 5 capsules in a go, but that gives you 60 servings. The goal is to take 5 capsules spread throughout the day, normally 1 per carbohydrate containing meal for a beginner, and you can increase that dose if you're an advanced athlete. Now, a lot of people will say, well, how many carbs do I have per capsule? I can't give you an answer to that. The goal is to take 5 capsules per day. That will give you the clinical 1 gram per day of berberine that's been shown in studies to give an increase or an improvement in body composition over time. Advanced athletes will go as high as 10. We can't tell you how many capsules to take per grams of carbohydrates because of different physiological differences in terms of their natural glucose disposal rate, their insulin sensitivity, their beta cell sensitivity, and the level of glucose that they have resting. You'll probably find that when you're dieting, you'll be a lot more sensitive than when you're bulking. So the goal really is to take as many as you can without exhibiting signs of hypoglycemia and without exhibiting signs of stomach upset. For most people, that ends up being somewhere between 5 and 10 capsules a day. Product costs $36.95. And for that, you're going to get a 2-month supply for most people, maybe slightly more for very small athletes, maybe slightly less for very large athletes. In terms of what a glucose disposal aid does, and I probably should have covered this at the start, it will lead, or it can lead to an improvement in body composition. It will improve pumps. It can improve recovery. The goal is to ensure that as much of the glucose or carbohydrates that you're consuming get converted to glucose and end up being stored within muscular tissue to be used for performance, rather than being stored as fat. They're not a fat-burning product or a fat loss product, but they're a more body recomposition improvement product. They also have long-term health benefits. They're a product that's got quite a lot of confusion around them, but in an off-season, they should allow you to gain as much muscle as possible with as little fat gain as possible, assuming that you're in a slight surplus. And in a diet phase, it should allow you to maintain as much muscle tissue as possible while losing as much fat as possible, as well as getting the most out of the carbohydrates that you're consuming in terms of performance. So when someone's on prep, they might be on low carbs. Using a glucose disposal aid should ensure that the majority of those carbs go to muscles where you can use them to train, giving you slightly improved performance and therefore a better outcome to your overall fat loss phase.